Hi there, it's Amy Kunkel from crazybeautiful.com. I have paper crafting tutorials, card making videos, and more on my blog, so head over and check things out or subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing a rolled paper flower today using two 4-inch doilies. Now you could do this by hand, you could freehand the spiral cut. But what I'm going to use today is a spiral flower die from Stampin' Up. It's a Sizzix die. It will run through your Big Shot machine. And I'm going to layer these two thin doilies right on top of each other and put them face down. And I'm just going to lay it over the spiral. If you'll notice, it actually has a spiral pattern on it, so it's going to do a little bit of cutting out of the edges, but that's fine with me. It actually kind of creates a nice effect. So go ahead and run that through your Big Shot. Okay, you'll see a little bit of the edges that came off, but it die cut the two doilies into the spiral. With this you have a little bit of waste, but I kind of like the shape of the flower that it produces. So you can grab this die from Stampin' Up, or you can try and freehand it on your own. Shifting the two layers or matching them up, it really just kind of works itself out as you wrap it. So I'm going to wrap it once just to kind of get it going to the shape that I want. And then I'm going to show you how to add it to a stem. Okay, so this makes just a tiny little petite rosette. So there we go. So that's the idea. I'm going to grab a 24 gauge floral stem and just fold it, bend it in half, or almost in half, not completely in half. It's 18 inches long, and then I've just got a little, what would this be called? A button, but it's kind of it has a little bit of dimension to it. So I'm gonna stick the button through like that and twist this on the back. And then I'm gonna take this bottom circle platform and I'm gonna stick my stem through it. And a hot glue gun is about the best way to adhere this quickly. So I'm gonna grab my hot glue gun. I'm gonna add a little glue dot on the bottom of this, right here on the bottom, so that it will stick in place. It'll be easier to twist without it sliding as you go. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of twist this manually and show you. If you would like the center showing, then what we're going to do is we're just going to twist it and glue it down so that you can see through the middle. Okay, so my little doily was getting a little crazy, so I decided to grab my twilling tool. This is close to my heart, but you can get yours anywhere. It has like a slit in the end, and that will allow me to grab this. Now I don't need it too tight. I'm just gonna center it right on that. I wanted to give you a relatively easy way to get it onto the stem, because I feel like that's one of the hardest things to do when you're making paper flowers. So I'm just gonna add a little bit, kind of around the outside of my button. I I don't need too much of my button showing. You just want that glue to grab, and if you want to kind of twist it a little bit more as you go, make it nice and tight, you can. So you can still see a little bit of that green and a little bit of the clear glass button, but you used it to secure down your flower. So there you go. I'm going to do another one. I'm going to keep the doilies together, but I'm going to show you maybe how to kind of do this on your own. So I just sort of drew a swirl on for you, like that, and then I'm going to cut away using just the scallop edge of the doily. It really doesn't have to be perfect. You'll be able to twist it up and then end here on that piece. So I'm not gonna put this on the stem. You can always add it to the stem later by just gluing it onto the top. I'm just going to spiral this up. As you can do it tight to begin with, and it will loosen naturally. So it's always better to just do it a little bit tight on the beginning and then let it out until you're happy with it. So just keep rolling. Try to keep the bottom kind of aligned so that it sits on that bottom piece. Don't let it sneak up off on you. So I'm gonna put a glue dot just in case my two pieces don't want to stick together. So a glue dot on the bottom doily, sticking it to the top doily. So remember, I did have two different doilies on here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a pile of hot glue here and then carefully position this down, and you can kind of open it as much as you want before it dries, or cools rather, dries and cools. So there you go. So it does kind of produce a different effect. The edges aren't scalloped. There are some scallops in the middle though, so it's actually really cute. And then you can maybe take a flat button, take your 24 gauge wire, fold it in half, and you're just gonna stick it through the button. This way you can use the button to add your stem and get that nice and tight. I'm just gonna add glue right there and right there. Now when you finish these flowers, you can add some floral tape so that you don't see the underside. You would just glue the floral tape up here and then wrap the stem. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching my doily rolled paper flower, paper doily rolled flower. And subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any paper crafting tutorials. Thank you so much. Bye.